Hello, welcome back to another video tutorial here at GeekatPlay Studios. My name is Gary Miller, and in continuing on with our modeling, let's work on the ground floor. I'm going to come up here to select faces, make sure my walls are selected, and I'm going to select on this. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm going to select number 5 here, that face, and delete it. And I'm going to hide my pillars here. Come here to select points. I want to select these 2 points of this adjoining face. Put my pillars back into view. Now what I want to do is I want to use this face here as a door. I don't want this centerpiece dividing the door. I'm going to move that out of the way. But when this disappears and I move it out of the way, that means there's going to be a gap between these 2 doors that I'm going to create here. So what I want to do is I want this face here to stretch right down to the center of here, because when I duplicate this door and move it over on this side, both of them will meet in the middle. So with these 2 points selected, I'm going to use Snap Align tool, snap here, and then snap right in the center of this edge here. And let me spin around, and now you see that this face is has been enlarged or stretched to fit right down the center of there, and that's exactly what I want. So let me now select edges. I could have done the other one, but select edges is fine. Actually, you know what? I'll do select points because I need points selected. And now I'll just move it up. Let me zoom in here. Snap a line, snap it down where it needs to go. And I'm going to come down here to my wall, select that. I want to extract that, and now I'll call this door. I'm not going to create a duplicate just yet because there's a little work we need to do on it. So I'm going to select that face, which is all by itself now. Use my sweep surface tool, and pretty much just like I did in making the windows and the window frames, I'm just going to dial in an inner radius like that. There we are. Now for this model, I don't plan on making these doors to swing open and close. So with that as a design consideration, all I'm going to do is select the outside perimeter and now use my extrude tool, and I'm just going to extrude backwards and give a little depth to the door. Select faces, select the face of that, use my extrude tool, and I'm just going to extrude inwards just a little bit, like so. I will extract that, call this glass, and I'll end up welding it together with the rest of the glass objects. And this will be door frame. Select our glass. Set material. Door frame. Give it the same color as the window frame. Select these 2 objects. Control D to duplicate. Let's slide this over. And now I'm just going to butt them up against one another. And I'll use my Snap Align tool. And so those are our 2 entrance doors. And that looks good. And let's door frame, let's weld those 2 together. And of course, doing so I lose the color that's assigned to them, so I'll have to redo that. Glass, glass, And let's weld that together and reset our colors on there. Okay, now let's go to creating door handles. Come up here to lines, and I will select, I'll select a rectangle. That'll work. And I'll move it over here so I can see it easier. Select edges. Let's get rid of that edge. And let's come over here to lines. I want to insert a point. I'm going to hold down Shift, and then click, which will put a point right in the center of that line. Hold down Shift, click, it'll put a point right in the center of that line. Select points, and I'm going to move them right over there, and then move them away. So I have, let me click off of it, I have this shape. So I'm going to select my curve, select that point, and that point. Let me zoom in here a little bit. And I'm going to use my chamfer tool and give a little shape to this, like it's the handle that you would see in a nice hotel. That looks good. And let's bring this down into its approximate location. Size it up. That looks a little large still. Let's see how that looks. Click off. That looks good. Okay, let's move it into place. I'm going to come up here to Surface Modeling, click on Thickness, and a point value of 8 will be fine. I'm just going to run my numbers up here and give it some thickness. 0.5, that's a little thick. 0.4, let's try 0.3. Let me zoom out and see what this looks like. I'd say the scale of that looks good. We forgot to name this glass. Okay, let's call this handle. Control D, I want to duplicate this handle. Spin it around 180, and let's zoom in here and put it where it needs to be. Okay, so those are our door handles. I think what I'm going to do is move them up just a little bit because I'm going to have to raise my door up as well. Okay, now I need to create a step. So, create a cube. Probably not that big. And let's resize this. Let's zoom in here a little bit. Okay, let's use our snap tool, snap there, and snap there. Let's grab these 4 points and snap right there. Grab the top, and we can bring the top down. And let's bring it in a bit. I think what I want to do is I want to expand it out. No, that's too large. There we are. And I may want to bring it out just a little bit too. Okay, select edges, select that edge, select this edge. I'm going to add a chamfer to that. And 6 in the range value should be fine. Let's see what it looks like with a high radius. No, I like that right there. Alright, that looks good. Let's click on it. And I'm going to use my... Actually, here's what I'll do. I'll loop that and use my edge tools, and I'll just copy this edge right to about there. And now I will use my sweep surface tool and sweep outwards just a bit, just to give it a little bit of a lip there. Select that, loop it, select that, yeah, those two, loop them, and now I'm just going to come inwards a little bit, maybe not that much. I got the wrong ones. Just those two, loop them, and now I'll bring them in. There we are. Okay, so that's our doorstep. And I'm going to hide that because now I need to click on our door and glass. I'm going to, here I'll do this. Select that face, Shift, hit the plus key, and now if I come up, it will bring everything except the glass. The glass will still be hanging down, which is fine. I'll address that. Oops. I got something that's not going up. Let me hide the glass there. That I need to select that as well. Let's see. There we are. Okay, enable our doorstep. There we are. And bring that down flush. To our doorstep. And let's enable the view of our glass. Door frames, there we are. Let's select that edge and that edge. And we'll just bring these up. There we are. I think I'll bring the handles back down now, just a bit. You really get a sense of scale of how big those doors are based on where the handles are. Up here it looks like, well, a person, say a 6-foot person, could probably fill up the entire height of this doorway. But if you put it down a little bit, it now makes the door, the height of the door, look maybe like 7 or 8 feet high. So depending upon the scale that you want to achieve, you can do so just by where you put your door handles. And that's it for this session of this modeling tutorial. Thanks for watching here at GeekatPlay Studios. My name is Gary Miller. Have a good day.